or even with the fader. You had one job, Ted. Pull the bloody fader up, for goodness sake. Never mind rocking your way to the music. Pull up the bloody fader, Ted. You just carry on with the knob twiddling down there, though. Good boy. Right, so you can tell how this one's going to go already before we even start, can't you, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, staff, super intelligent shades of the colour sky blue, pink, or however you identify. Simon Hill, with his usual nonsense, I guess, is what we're going to have going on here. And today he's conscripted the help of an even more ridiculous, even more incredible buffoon, name of David Katz. David Katz is also a card-carrying member, high priest, in fact, of the Church of Anorexia Vegana. And he would like us all to eat plants, though, and would probably tell us that we can't possibly be carnivores, you see, for we lack the sharp, pointy teeth required. And I don't know, I've not watched this through. So that's the first caveat. I have not watched this video through. I've just watched the first 2 seconds of it 5 or 6 times, really. But anyway, apparently, this video is entitled, Stop Eating Like a Lion. The dangerous myth behind keto and carnivore diets. Because they're the same thing, aren't they? Keto and carnivore diets. We can conflate those two things. Obviously. No. Okay. Dean, why is your sister biting you? What's going on? What's going on, basically? Whoops. There we go. There it is. Sister's teeth are quite sharp. And so are gorillas. Yes, so they are. Who else is in the house? Field Marshal, His Excellency Field Marshal DC of the Meat Militia is in the house. Sharp, pointy teeth. Straight in with the super chat action there from Juliet. We love us some Juliet up in here. So we do. Keep those super chats coming, folks. Also, keep the votes coming for the who is the most offensive commentator on health, nutrition, fitness industry on the YouTubes. So far, the front runner is one Lame Norton, followed not too closely by one Chris McCaskill from Plant Munchers, aka Viva Longevity. Other mentions, of course, coming in from all sorts of other people, like not really a Dr. Grigul, I think his name is, Grigor or something. Not really a Dr. Paul Sellard, I don't know who Bart K is, has got 1 or 2 mentions. Perhaps you think one of the most offensive commentators on the interwebs is Simon Hill. After today, maybe you do, in which case you need to vote on that short that I posted yesterday. Because in about 6 days I'll do a live stream and we'll reveal who the most offensive is, according to you folks. So, as I say, unlike the referenda held in the UK, or the signing of all sorts of various things over there around things that the UK populace at large don't want their government doing, that doesn't matter at all. Unlike that, it matters here who you vote for is the most offensive. Maybe you think it's me, in which case, say so. And if I turn out to be the most offensive, I will report that that's what you all said. I don't think you will, though, because, I don't know, that's just how it is. The feral grandma, of course, is present as per usual. Hobby can't wait to hear about this one. Well, you're going to have to wait until I'm finished doing the introductory stuffs and things. So there it is. And I think we've already seen that one, but there you go. Doubling up on the comments. Very good. Okay, so caveats. If you're new here and you don't know what the hell is going on, basically what happens is I come online live without pre-recording anything, without edits and all that kind of stuff. Mostly because I'm too busy. And I do a live response to some ridiculous nonsense being said by somebody somewhere on the interwebs. And I pause them often, even in the middle of a sentence if I feel it's necessary to do so. And I correct what they're saying when it's wrong. And basically, if you don't like that sort of thing, you're in the wrong place. So off you pop. Also, if you don't like short words, 4-letter words, you're probably in the wrong place, because Ted tends to say a lot of them, don't you? Fuck yes! Ted! Goodness gracious. He's in with it straight away. He can't help himself, can Ted? That's about all the caveats, really. Oh, I've already given the caveat that I haven't watched this through, so I don't know what quality this is, but given that it's coming from Simon Hill and David Katz, I know it's going to be pustulous, excremental garbage before I even watch it. So that's another caveat, I suppose. Do I have a preconceived idea about these individuals and what they have to say? Yes. Will there be confirmation bias exhibited on my part? Oh, probably, I would say. Nonetheless, I'll try to point out the facts as they are versus my opinions as those are, where that's necessary. I hope that's okay with everybody, and if it's not, once again, you're in the wrong place, and you should probably pop yourself directly to jail without passing go or collecting $200, pounds, squids, or if indeed yen. Welcome, Dave. Welcome to the house. Good morning. Good morning. I'm glad that you're able to catch a live. Basically, Dave, what we're going to do is we're going to hear from Simon Hill and his mate David Katz, all about how we can't possibly be carnivores, you see, for we're not lions. I suppose they're probably going to tell us we don't have the sharp, pointy teeth required. I don't know. Anyway, let's crack on and find out, shall we? Right. Simon, Dave, whoever.
Despite there being, as you put it, a litany of evidence that supports these high-fiber, plant-rich dietary...
Okay, well, that's a false statement straight away, Simon Hill. That's an opinion. A litany of good evidence in support of... You see, the thing about science is it's litigated empirically with numbers. No amount of words that can come out of anybody's mouth, based on anybody's opinion, can have an impact on what evidence is available empirically. And in terms of evidence empirically to support a cause and effect relationship between any heart health outcome in human beings and any aspect of their nutritional behaviour, well, there's none, in fact, Simon, none at all. So you stating David Katz's opinion, it seems like there, that evidence exists, doesn't mean that it does. It still doesn't.
Patterns of which there are many that we could name.
So why don't you then, Simon? There are many studies you could name. Well, why don't you do that? Shall we wait for that? Oh, okay, I wonder why. My father is a professor in gastroenterology. Is that like saying my daddy's a policeman and he's got a gun? I don't know. Let's find out. Growing up, he always taught us everything we need can be found in red meat. He was right. He was right, was your dad? Southern Samurai? Yes. I'm Alex's favourite actual scientist. Still. Excellent. Good. Even though I say naughty words. Well, Ted tends to say them more than me these days, but, you know, whatever. All right. Carry on, though, Simon. You've told us there's a bunch of evidence that exists which doesn't exist, so it's not a great start for you. By the way, Simon, why is it that I still haven't heard from you to come and have a debate with me about the science? Is it because you know exactly how that'll go? I.e., I will tear you 7 new arseholes without breaking a sweat and correct you on your fallacious, ridiculous, pustulous, excremental garbage at every turn, make you look like the silly schoolboy you are, in fact, and show you up as being actually a completely incredible commentator on the sciences. Is that why you haven't emailed me for an appointment to come and have that done? I suspect it is. Fully laden swallow. Good. For Pimbatia and a knob maintenance tech. Yes, I need a knob maintenance tech. Ted's a bit... I'll be careful what I say because he can hear me right now, but I really need someone else to come and twiddle the knobs. My knobs. No, they're not all the knobs around here, I think. Thank you for the $10, though. I wonder how much knob twiddling you can get for $10. Don't know. Yeah. We are not a lion, ? No, we're not. What if we identify as an intelligent shade of blue? Well, then you can. You absolutely can. Or you can be an attack helicopter. And if you like, your pronouns could be... Ted is a giant in the entertainment industry, and as such, his pronouns are fee, fi, fo, fum. Ha ha ha! You get back down there and twiddle the knobs, Ted, for goodness sake. Right. I think that's enough already. Very good. Okay, so, what's been said so far? Because I've been so active myself, I need to shut up a bit more and let these guys dig their own grave. But what they've said is, a bunch of evidence exists to support a diet rich in fibre. No, there aren't. Okay, what's next?
Since that time, keto and carnivore...
Yes, because they're the same thing, remember? Keto and carnivore are the same thing. Even though one of them is kind of a bit sort of slightly fatty from time to time, is misinformed by a bunch of people who don't understand what the goal of the thing even is and give poor advice about that. And the other one is the species-appropriate, species-specific diet that human beings have been eating, except for the last 12,000 years or so, for at least 350,000 years prior to that, and probably more like 3 or 4 million. 4.5 million, something like that. Okay, Reet.
Our diets, these meat-heavy type diets, have continued to surge in popularity, at least on social media.
Yeah, I wonder why that is, Simon.
With people sharing stories of overcoming obesity.
Just anecdotes there. No actual evidence, just anecdotes.
Does anybody miss Michelle? I don't. I don't miss Michelle at all. I'm glad she's gone. Who else is glad Michelle is gone? Because she probably would have won the most offensive commentator on the interwebs ticket thing that I'm currently running. If you haven't seen that, look at my shorts. If you don't know what I'm talking about. There's a vote going on amongst the community. We're going to find out who the most offensive commentator is. Yes, Homo sapiens is not a lion, wolf, etc. Correct. We also are not a cow, horse, insect, arachnid, etc. Yes, that was going to be one of my lines today, that we're also not rabbits. So, eating just plants is not really going to be that good for us either, is it? Oh, excuse me. Drew is a new member. Good on you, Drew. Reporting for duty. Good. Okay, well, in that case, report to Ted after class and he'll give you your detail, whatever that might be. No more science. Indeed, no more science. Right. Okay. But we are mice. Studies show. I love you guys. There's nothing you can do about it. Right. Let's make some progress over here.
Obesity and diabetes, even autoimmune conditions on these kind of very meat-heavy diets. What do you make of this movement, these anecdotes, and the kind of evidence around these kind of meat-heavy ways of eating for human health?
I think they're extremely unfortunate.
Yes, I think a lot of things are extremely unfortunate, like frailty and androgenism caused by a completely inappropriate diet for our speciation. Sorry, I think I was just possessed for a moment then. I'm okay now. I was turned into a newt, but I got better. Go on, David.
And so first of all, I've pointed out for years, Simon, that short-term improvement of, let's say immune condition or cardiometabolic condition on almost any diet does not impress me.
Right. Well, fair enough.
Because you could reverse type 2 diabetes by getting cholera. Doesn't make cholera a desirable thing. You could reverse type 2 diabetes by getting cancer and chemotherapy. And you could reverse type 2 diabetes by giving up food altogether and going on a cocaine binge.
Excellent. So all of those things are viable options, according to David Katz, or am I just being a bit facetious there?
I kid you not. I mean, all these conditions would be associated with massive reduction in serum cholesterol.
So what? How did we get to cholesterol?
And a massive reduction in blood sugar.
Well, that would be a good thing. That's demonstrated is the word I'm after. But your allusion there to cholesterol is not something that we should be concerned about, worried about, or even interested in, David. In fact, perhaps you'd like to come and debate that with me, because Simon doesn't have the gear to do it. And you clearly,
Obviously sound like somebody that clearly has the gear to come and have such a discussion.
And they would all be absolutely terrible for you.
good.
Sarah's beloved Labrador got into the neighbour's rubbish bin.
Did it?
After the yard, she'll have to clean up the hallway.
Oh, no.
So is what we care about, short-term metabolic perturbation, or is it about lifelong health and vitality? If it's
Well, you tell us all about lifelong health and vitality, David Katz, for goodness sake. Lifelong health and vitality, he says. Good. Right. I believe the argument is that calories cannot be consumed because they are a measurement of heat energy. Mass is consumed. But I could be off. No, you're not off. That's correct. That's spot on. I'm not sure what you're discussing in the background or what the context is really, because not all the messages come through. It's one of the various different styles of YouTube fuckery that goes on. But no, your comment is correct in every regard, Mr. Beaumont. Right, what does Juliet say? If I had $1 for every time I recommended Bartcase content to people, I'd have a lot of dollars. Good. I think you should all be doing that for me because YouTube won't. Trust me, they won't. In fact, YouTube are so behind me, they support me so well, in fact, that when you people get out your credit card and give YouTube your credit card number and say, I want to be a member of Bartcase channel, and you sign up for that, even for the cost of a cup of coffee per month, whatever, they don't keep you registered. They will unilaterally deregister you from being a member of my channel and stop charging you a credit card and unsub you from my channel. It's happened multiple times to people without their knowledge. Many, many times, in fact. So if you are a member of my channel, or think you are, I think you should check that you are. Still. Okay, right. So you guys have a chat about calories in, calories out in the background, and we'll deal with Dr. David Katz and his lifelong vitality. Shall we?
It's about lifelong health and vitality. So, yeah, I have type 2 diabetes. I'd like to reverse it.
Do you? Or are you just saying that as an example?
And then I'd like to live well and prosper with vitality too. Well, then you need to do it by a means that's not just good for you in the short term, but sustainably so.
Oh, good. In that case, you should probably eat a diet that's appropriate for your speciation, that being Homo sapiens sapiens, David Katz. That being hypercarnivore, demonstrably, it would seem. We're done. Good. Join me next time when someone else will be wrong on the interwebs.
And that would not be cholera, and that would not be a cocaine binge, and that would not be chemotherapy. That would be...
Did you hear that, Dave?
Some means that promotes health from the origin. So...
Yeah, well, that'd be a carnivore diet, a appropriate species-specific diet that we're speciated for, and that positive and negative selection pressures have moulded our bodies and systems to over millennia. Excellent. We're done.
These diets that are very restrictive. So a keto diet is...
restrictive. Good. I'll tell you what's restrictive. Restrictive is living a life of ill health, which is foreshortened by that ill health status. Usually, mostly as a result of poor habits, including poor habits nutrition-wise, i.e. eating a diet that's not appropriate for your speciation, David Katz. Dave says, I have a feeling that this David Katz guy didn't win any medals in debating. No, I would say not. Carnivore reverses type 2 diabetes, but so does starving yourself. Yes, good. Very, very good. Very good. Hope all is well with Dave. Yes, we all hope everything is well with Dave. Everyone around here is called Dave. So when I say Dave, I could be talking to anyone, couldn't I? The chemo reference, obviously, I was talking to DC Dave rather than no carb Dave. So, anyway.
Very restrictive. And in comparison to the typical American diet, it's going to reduce your intake of calories. It's going...
Okay, so David Katz thinks you can intake calories. Are we done? You can't. There is no way to intake calories. Calories cannot be intaken. Calories are manifest as photons. Photons have no rest mass, i.e. don't interact with the Higgs field, i.e. cannot be brought to rest in any inertial frame of reference. We're done with that. So no, not calories.
To cause significant weight loss, it's going to lower...
Oh, wait. Well, calories, remember, have no rest mass. So any amount of them either intaken, if that was possible, which it still isn't, or spent, if that was possible, which still isn't, any number plus or minus any number of zeros remains unchanged, doesn't it, David? Sorry about that.
For your blood cholesterol for the most part, although not quite as reliably as almost every other alternative.
Well, why would you want to reduce your cholesterol, though, David? Perhaps you'd like to come and debate that with me.
It's going to lower blood sugar and so forth. But we have no evidence that that diet is sustainable over a lifetime. And so then,
we have no evidence regarding any diet over any period of time, David Katz, as regards hard health outcomes of any kind in human beings. None at all. There isn't a single study existent anywhere on this planet that can inform us on that topic. We're done. Sorry about that. Just the facts.
Most people who use keto as a tactic are left to ask, now what? And most people who go on and off a keto diet lose weight and gain it back, reverse their type 2 diabetes, and then reacquire it. As opposed to a high-quality plant-predominant diet.
Well, there's no such thing as that, David. That's an oxymoron. Human beings are not designed to gain their nutrition from plants. Human beings are designed by natural selection pressures to gain their nutrition via the eating of other animals. Sorry about that, just the facts again.
You can certainly stay on forever where...
You can do that with animal-based diets, absolutely. You certainly cannot stay on a plant-based diet for your entire lifespan. Because, well, 84% of people that ever try that quit. They do that within 5 years, and 90% of those people state catastrophic health failure as their reason for so doing. Why? Well, because that diet, David, is demonstrably destitute. It's devoid of no less than 13 required nutrients for human beings. It's not an appropriate diet for a human being. And you are a buffoon, an arrogant buffoon with Dunning-Kruger dripping from every pore of your ridiculous body. And you need to shut the fuck up permanently, David. Because, well, you're not even qualified to speak on human nutrition. You're an MD. Go and be an allopathic physician for all the good that'll do. All right, what's next?
We also have evidence that you can reverse type 2 diabetes, but you can sustain that dietary approach. So in that sense, you know, it's unfortunate in that there's sort of this distraction about short-term outcomes that do not factor in the context of longer-term outcomes.
Right, well, sadly, there is no literature available anywhere on the planet that can inform cause and effect on any hard health outcomes in human beings as that relates to any aspect of dietary intervention of any kind still, David. So you cannot claim any moral high ground here, unless you want to make it absolutely clear and patent, if it wasn't already, to folks, that you are in fact scientifically illiterate. How does that sound? Okay.
I want what's good for me now, and I also want it to be an investment in the future.
In that case, David, maybe you should start eating some meat and stop with the plant-based nonsense pretty soon, I would suggest.
And by the way, that kind of argues for thinking about health a little bit more like wealth, where, you know, we certainly care whether or not we can buy what we want today, but we also think about saving money for the longer term. And we should think about health in exactly that same way. I want it today. I want to feel it today. I want to benefit from it today.
How are you feeling, David? How are things going for you health-wise, mate? Because, well, I've got my concerns, frankly, and I have had for some time. Anyways, a high-quality plant-based diet. Not really a Dr. Michael Greger's inflated midsection would disagree. Yes, it would. Jesus, if you reacquire type 2 diabetes after stopping a keto diet, maybe the keto diet was correct way after all. That's some good logicking, isn't it? Love it. Love it a lot. I ate roughly 5,000 to 6,000 calories a day for a week and did not gain fat, and also had an average of 1 mile walking a day, and that's it. Calories in, calories out, debunked. Yes, you're correct, Luke, there, except for the first part of your statement there where you said you ate 5,000 to 6,000 calories a day. No, you didn't. That's impossible. Because it's impossible to consume 1 calorie. The exact number of calories that is possible for a human being to consume is none. Ever. Still. Sorry about that. Thank you. It's been a godsend finding your site. Yes. Did God send you here? Or was it Ted? I think everybody should watch this channel. Ha 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 ha. I'll go back to twiddling the knobs now. Like this. Good boy, Ted. You do that. Right. Yes. Okay. David.
But not at the expense of tomorrow. I don't want to spend everything I make.
However, to inform us on what's likely tomorrow, we would need some valid, robust research with some veracity to base such a prognostic view upon. And sadly, David, it still does not fucking exist. Son. All right? Funny calling a man who's older than you son, but there you go.
Today, and then tomorrow I can't pay the bills. Well, health is like that too. I want to invest in my health for the long term.
What you also apparently want to do, David, is repeat yourself over and over and over again desperately struggling to get your brain to catch up with your mouth and decide what the hell it is that's going to come out of it next. Oh my God, what am I going to say next? I better just repeat what I just said again. Brain fog much? Interesting, isn't it?
And then, of course, the other thing that's unfortunate is I truly do think, even, I'm a physician and spent 30 years taking.
He just said, I truly do think, and I'm a physician, in the same sort of contextual bit of speech. Isn't that funny? Isn't that hilarious? I'm a physician who thinks. Are you, David?
Care patients and basically advancing the human.
Because physicians aren't allowed to think, are they, David? Physicians are required to act according to an if-then paint-by-numbers system, aren't they? And if they don't, if they step outside of that, if they put their feet outside the yellow circles, then you get struck off the medical register, you lose your profession, you lose your livelihood, and you get derided by the General Medical Council. A physician who thinks. No, you're not. Goodness, a physician who says anything whatsoever about human nutrition publicly is someone who's outside their lane. If they lean on their physician's qualification as credence for so doing, that is. I don't care who says whatever about nutrition online with no qualifications if they want to, so long as what they say is correct. And David, what you're saying is not correct. You're saying we should all eat plants, which is not correct, David. We shouldn't.
Condition was my life's work. I still think planetary health is the signature issue of our time. Because we have some hope.
Oh, so now we're going to talk about the environment again and global warmings, though, it seems like. Are we finished with human health already? We're expected to take your word for what you've said because you've said so. And really all you've said is, well, maybe there's some short-term benefit to a diet that's the one that you don't like, David, but there's no evidence for long-term effect. To which my response is, well, there's no long-term evidence for any dietary pattern, in fact, actually. So we have to apply some common sense as to what's likely to be the best thing for us. And David, you've failed singly to do that, haven't you? And now you're moving on to the environment, it seems. Oh, good.
Of being healthy, vital people on a healthy, vital planet, or we have no hope of being healthy, vital people at all.
Some of us, David, sound very much like we're already over that bridge of having no hope of being healthy or vital, haven't we?
And so we have to attend to the health of the planet. So these arguments for keto and carnivore and so forth,
Keto and carnivore and so forth. Which, David? What are you talking about?
leave that out of the discussion altogether. We do not have that luxury. We simply do not have that luxury. So I think they're very unfortunate. Now, what if, big what if eating lots of meat, what if being carnivorous were our only choice? What if...
Well, it is, David, because that's how we've evolved over something like 4.5 million years, patently, clearly, demonstrably, unequivocally. Ergo, that's how our genes have been selected for, that's how our organ systems are designed, that's how our metabolic systems are optimized. If we want to have our best possible lifespan and health status during that long lifespan, then we need to follow that edict. That's our genetic gift, whether you like it or not, David.
If we were like lions? What if we were obligate carnivores?
We are obligate carnivores, David.
Then they'd be right. We'd have to eat meat. And then the questions would all be about...
We do have to eat meat, David.
How can we do this without...
Well, if you don't eat meat, David, what happens as well? This is what happens. Androgyny, frailty, lack of muscle mass, functional muscle mass, brain fog, early death, it seems, if you even last on the vegan diet long enough to get to that point. Just anecdotes, though. No actual evidence.
Ravaging the planet. Do we do it by controlling the numbers of us? Do we do it by developing other means of producing?
See how he couched that as a question? Should we control how many people are on the planet? I see. Yes. 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 Agreed. Absolutely. Bacon and eggs. That's not how it goes. That's the wrong song. Goodness sake. We should never compromise the way we eat based on feelings about the environment. Correct. Feelings. Feels. That's right. Science is what we should base our decisions on, what we do on. And if you don't understand science, then, well, trust me on the science. I'm safe and effective for me. Don't question the science, even though that's how you do science. Still don't question me because I'm the science. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. If you think there are too many people on the planet, David Katz, perhaps you could volunteer to help us out in that regard. At the very least, what you could do actually is shut the fuck up, because you're an imbecile. You're an arrogant, ignorant imbecile. But that's for another day.
Seeing the meat, it would be a completely different debate, right? It just turns out that we are...
Even the interwebs doesn't like what he was about to say.
It's my last semester in university, which means I'll be using Grammarly a lot. It's an AI writing partner that helps students with their writing from beginning to end.
Did you hear about that one, Mike Imbecile? You could have used, even 10 years ago, you could have used some kind of spell checker, couldn't you? And then maybe when you were caught out on those like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of errors in your PhD dissertation, perhaps you could have like not come online and pretended that it was a draft, knowing full well that it wasn't. Perhaps you could have not lied to people about that, only to be caught out on that. And perhaps you could make out like the actual fact was there were serious, serious problems with your dissertation from top to bottom, which far outreached one or two or even several hundred typographical, spelling and formatting errors. The actual thing is a piece of shit from start to finish in terms of what it actually says, the numbers presented. And secondly, it added nothing whatsoever that was novel to knowledge, which is what a PhD thesis is supposed to do. For those who want to find out my take on the PhD dissertation written by one Lame Norton, who is the current frontrunner for the most offensive buffoon on the interwebs, as per my community, stick around because I'm just about finished reading it. My God, you're going to love this, kids. You're going to love it. So, number one, I'll give you some spoilers straight away on Lame Norton's dissertation. Number one, it's not a thesis, and that's what a PhD ought to be based on, research. It's a dissertation, which means that Lame Norton's PhD is partly via coursework, i.e. no better than a postgraduate certificate, because there was minimal research involved in his PhD. Secondly, Lame Norton, claiming to be an expert in human nutrition on the basis of his PhD, which is actually no better than a dissertation, guess what? There were a couple of studies he did in his PhD dissertation, both of them, several of them, all of them, whatever it was. I can't remember how many it was exactly. Anyway, all of them were rat studies. Rats. There's a lot more wrong with it than just that too, but that's enough already, isn't it? So, no, Lame Norton, you're not an expert in human nutrition. You're not even an expert in rat nutrition because you did a little dissertation after some coursework. Okay? So PhDs out there, boys and girls, anyone that says I've got a PhD, we need to check into this to see whether they actually deserved one and whether that actually does set them apart from, well, the gym bros, because usually not. Okay? Anyway, let's get back to David Katz.
Constitutional omnivores who are clearly adapted to plant-predominant diets.
Yeah, no, we're not, David. That's just your opinion, and it's so vacuous, it's ridiculous. We are absolutely not adapted to a plant-predominant diet. That is completely false.
And we do better when
no, we fucking don't. Demonstrably.
Our diets are mostly plants.
No, wrong, David. That's just your opinion. That's just words coming out of your mouth with absolutely nothing whatsoever to support those words.
And we do absolutely fine when our diets are exclusively plants.
No, we fucking don't, David. Remember the stats I gave you before? They're still true.
And we simply don't do fine. Our microbiome doesn't do fine.
According to whom, on the basis of what, David? Because we know more about the surface of Mars than we do about the microbiome, for sure.
when for any extended period of time our diets are all meat, which is
Nonsense, David. Absolute fucking nonsense. There is absolutely no evidence to support that claim whatsoever. That's your ridiculous fucking theology and nothing else.
don't. One final comment.
Oh, I wish it was one final comment, but it won't be because there's more than half of this left. And you'll be back next week to make another ridiculous fucking video where you espouse absolute fallacious, excremental, pustulous nonsense, you fucking criminal, David Katz, without let or fucking hindrance. No matter how many times I've debunked you, which is hundreds, by the way, over the years, it's like water off a duck's back, isn't it, sunshine? Just ignore that bad bald man in New Zealand and carry on lying to people. Excellent.
and that is these debates about meat, how much meat we should eat. They often invoke our adaptations from the Paleolithic and the fact that we are omnivores, and certainly our ancient ancestors did consume meat.
We are not omnivores by design and by natural selection, David. We are omnivores by chosen behaviour, humans at large. Some of us are sensible enough to ignore that behaviour pattern and go with what's actually species appropriate and species specific, that being hyper-carnivore. Okay, still.
They often fail to provide any clarity on the difference between the kind of meat they tended to eat and the kind of meat we eat today.
So?
And that information is readily available in the peer-reviewed literature. So if you're going to fly the...
No, it isn't. There are no studies that looked at what human beings definitely actually did eat whatsoever. Anywhere in the literature, you liar. Not one. There are a bunch of studies with respondent data, i.e. they surveyed some people and asked them what they ate, and then they wrote down what they ate, according to them. Mostly, people lie about such things anyway, and the researchers believed what they wrote down and said that's what people ate, without observing what they ate. That's not science at all, David. That's not even akin to science. That's a fantasy. As is your fantasy around a plant-based diet being good for us, because it fucking isn't, still.
Paleo flag. Be honest about the fact that there was no Paleolithic pepperoni, and there were no...
Who says pepperoni is indicated? I don't. Name me one carnivore influencer who says pepperoni is what you ought to base your diet on. Eat lots of pepperoni and nothing else, because that's the stuff. Name that person for us, David. Shall we wait? Ridiculous fucking straw man. You absolute criminal. You fucking clown show. What's next?
Paleolithic hot dogs, right? And so the paleoanthropologists who've done this work and made the comparison say, well, you know, you want to think about the kind of...
Did you forget about the paleoanthropologist, David, that did the stable isotope N1415 testing? Seems like you did. Because they're the ones that did the actual hard science to work out what human beings actually did eat without having to observe it, because it leaves a signature behind in the nitrogen isotopes found in the collagen in the long bones, which are still viable, you know, more than 100,000 years later. Did you forget about those guys? You must have.
Meat humans are adapted to eat, probably about the closest approximation in the modern world would be something like antelope. So let's look at the composition of the flesh of antelope. Well, the average beef cattle...
Okay, so straw man,
have about 35% of total calories in their flesh coming...
No, they don't, because you don't get calories from eating, David, still. So wrong again. Same mistake again, so I'll correct it again. No, not calories.
From fat, and most of that fat is saturated, and none of it's omega-3.
So fucking what? And that's actually false too, David. When something's reported as, as 0 on a nutrition panel, that means less than 1 per 100. It doesn't mean actually 0. All right, clown show? What's next?
The average flesh of antelope, 7% of the calories come from fat. So
No, still no calories come from fat whatsoever. No calories come from anywhere when you eat anything, because we still cannot fucking consume calories, David Katz, you ridiculous buffoon, still.
1/5 the fat content. Almost none of it's saturated, and quite a lot of it is omega-3. So, okay.
So what? Even if what you're saying was indicated invalid, which I'm not sure that it is even, because you haven't actually cited a damn thing, so fucking what is the response? What's your point?
It's meat and it's meat.
Surprise, surprise, these two. You shouldn't be surprised, Joff. It was you that sent me the email this morning saying, do these ones. Wasn't it? It's your fault, Joff, that we're all sitting through this. You. Ted's very, very cross. Joff, what are you doing sending us this nonsense? See? Get back down there and twiddle the knobs. Right, what's next?
But it's night and it's day. Totally different. So, you know, if you're going out with a bow and arrow to get that meat you're eating on the paleo diet, you probably do okay. If you're doing it some other way, you know, hot dogs and hamburgers and pepperoni and so forth, yeah, those were not part of the paleo.
All right, so what's your point, David? Modern cured meats are not necessarily very good for us? Well, we all agree. What's your point? Other than you tried to make a straw man and it fell flat on its face.
Paleolithic diet.
Yeah, there's
Paleolithic diet. I'm so vital and healthy because of my plant-based diet, you know.
a couple of papers I'll put in the show notes. I think it's Lauren Cordain and Stanley
Oh my God, Cordain.
Eaton who describe, and they're fathers, I guess, of the paleo movement, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so I'll put that into the show notes for anyone that's interested in the facts there. But that gets me thinking about
The facts, says Simon Hill. Simon, you wouldn't recognise a fact if it came up and rogered you roughly sideways with no lube. You are completely divorced from reality and factuality. You are the least credible so-called qualified person I have come across in quite some time as regards human health and human nutrition. And that's saying something.
this whole idea of how do you, and I know you speak to this, I've heard you speak about this before, how do you get people to care more about the facts? The facts of...
The facts. Simon Hill wants you to care about the facts. Well, if that's true, Simon, what you need to tell people is to stop listening to your ridiculous fucking nonsense online. You need to tell them the facts about your actual level of competence to comment on science, which is none, Simon Hill. You need to tell them that the only thing that underpins what you have to say is your theology and nothing to do with science, son. That's what you need to do. But I don't see you doing that anytime soon. Prove me wrong.
Of nutrition and how it affects human health and planetary health, and be influenced by those facts more than being seduced by stories and anecdotes on social media.
Yeah, stories and anecdotes. No good.
Be fearless.
Be fearless.
Change is good.
Change is good.
I don't really care if I sleep too much.
I do.
I wish I knew. So.
Why don't you just say that when you're asked any question whatsoever, David Katz? That'd be the appropriate response. You really don't fucking know dick about fuck, do you? No, not a damn thing about anything.
I wish I knew. I can tell you what I've tried to do, but I don't know the answer. I don't think anybody knows the answer. And, you know,
There you go. That's how you need to describe the science around human nutrition and human health outcomes, David Katz, because that's the appropriate way to respond to any question about that.
misinformation, disinformation, malinformation, they do travel more effectively than real facts for a whole host of reasons. One, you can make up...
You mean you are frustrated that your misinformation, disinformation has been called out by many, many sensible commentators, and you don't have a free run to the goal line without any form of defence from the rest of us here who want to stand in your way and say, no, David Katz, absolute fucking nonsense. And so you say, oh, it's just not fair. Goodness gracious.
Whatever will travel most effectively. You can make up whatever titillation you want. Since you're not bounded by fact, you can simply...
Says the vegan ideologue. Projection much, you ridiculous fucking turd? Wow.
prioritize what you think is going to captivate and titillate.
Titillate. Let's all say titillate. And fallacious. Let's titillate fallaciously. Go on then.
The other thing that always comes to me in this context is a quote from Bertrand Russell, who said, the whole thing wrong with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so sure, and wiser
Right, so again with the projection there, isn't it? You stupid man. You absolute fucking imbecile.
People so full of doubt. So you think of legitimate scientists, we almost never say absolutely, always, totally, complete. You know, we're always hemming and hawing, and, you know, in general, and there are provisos, and there are exceptions, and there are edge cases, and that's how science works. But fools, fanatics, and I would append to Russell's list, hucksters, so charlatans who've got something to sell, who know that it's not true. But
Right, well that's you, isn't it, David Katz? So yes, projection. Absolute fucking projection there from basically a criminal misanthropist. Anybody promoting a plant-heavy diet for human beings is a criminal misanthropist. How's that? Did I equivocate on that? Did I fucking stutter? No, sir, I did not.
they're going to profit off of your gullibility.
Yes, profiting off people's gullibility, David. I see.
They're completely, adamantly sure.
Yes, so how do you feel about the plant-based diet then, David? Are you going to equivocate and tell us, well, actually, there's absolutely no evidence that supports it extant anywhere on the planet? In terms of heart health outcomes of any kind over any period of time in human beings? Are you going to do that, or are you going to tell us it's absolutely the right diet?
They promise you the moon and stars. I mean, every fad diet author that's ever been does this. So there's a magical formula no one else will tell you but me. And I guarantee, I mean, the weight will fall off. You'll have luxurious hair and radiant skin, and it will be effortless and easy and magical, and you'll only get it here because no one else is willing to tell you. There's been a massive conspiracy shielding you from this. I mean, that formula works every time. I don't know why.
Right, so mass formation psychosis is what you're talking about there, David. Yes, we're aware of it in this community. We know what it is. We know how they attempt to impose it upon the society at large, and we're all too smart to fall for it. Because we all have IQs vastly, vastly in advance of both yours and Mike Imbecile's put together. Given that Mike Imbecile's actually reduces the total value per individual, because his is negatives, is what I'm saying.
For such gullible nincompoops when it comes to...
Yes, gullible nincompoops, David. Tell us all about gullible nincompoops. Like card-carrying high priestesses and priestesses of the Church of Anorexia Vegana. Yes, let's also remember that David Katz is talking about nutrition science, which is not science, and neither is he trained in nutrition pseudoscience anyway. He's an MD. He's out of his lane. Science can be replicated. Science is controlled. I ate a carrot and I feel better is not science. Correct. It is not. Well done, Dave. Not everyone called David is an imbecile, clearly.
Diet, nutrition,
just this one.
But we certainly are.
Meaning this one here. Go on though, David. Tell us all about it.
And, we've made almost every mistake it's imaginable to make, and we keep making them again and again.
That's right, you do, don't you, David? Every time you open your stupid, ridiculous, rancid, pustulous, excremental gob, nothing but fucking excrement pulls out of it. Every time you open it. Just garbage.
Again. And with the advent of social media and now artificial intelligence and deep fakes and so forth, it's all getting worse.
It's all getting worse.
The one thing I've tried to do to answer this question, so how do you get people to, if not care more about the truth, at least know what the truth is to take a page from the playbook of Dr. Seuss and the Who's.
Oh, yes, yes. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. I would not like them on a box. I would not like them wearing socks. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. That's some great advice, David. Thanks for that.
That Horton heard when they were in a critical fix, about to be boiled in bezelnut oil. The Who saved themselves by pulling together and pooling their voices. And
right, so we need to work together, stand shoulder to shoulder and say no. Hear that, UK citizens, Britons? That's what you do. You stand shoulder to shoulder and you eyeball this cunt, not this cunt, the cunt that's in charge of UK at the moment, and you say, no. We will not comply. No. And you do whatever it takes to make that point patent and clear. Pretty straightforward, really.
All cried out together, we are here, and they were heard, and they were saved. So in this case, it's the message isn't we are here, but the message is we agree. That there's actually a massive amount of consensus.
Ah, good! Consensus. Well, that's the main thing then, isn't it? Never mind the actual science or any facts at all. You have consensus on your side. Well, so what? That doesn't establish your point. So what you've got, David, you've just admitted it. You've got nothing but appeal to consensus fallacy. Good. Right. When your argument is failing, bring up Dr. Seuss and shout, look at that shiny thing over there. If I ran the circus McGurkus. Good. I know, everything I say is correct. Trust me, I'm the science, I'm safe and effective, don't question the science. You can absolutely disagree with me, anybody you like, so long as you are aware that that will be immediately determined to be hate speech and you will be incarcerated in Pumbatian Tower and made to work in the salt mines or something. Isn't that right, Dave? Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Yeah, that's not okay. The person that made that comment that I've just put into timeout, don't do that. I will not tolerate racist nonsense on my channel, ladies and gentlemen, okay?
Among diverse global experts and diverse global experts with different personal behaviors and preferences and practices and ideologies. So, you know, it's all well and good if you can get a group of ardent vegans to say a plant-based diet is the way to go. But, you know, you shrug your shoulders and say, you know, they're all ardent vegans. Of course they're going to say that.
That's right.
But what if you can get, you know, proponents of low carb diets to agree with that? Yeah, low carb's good, but you should do it for mostly plants because of planetary health and human health. And
well, that's all fucking nonsense though, isn't it, David? There's no science underpinning any of those kind of things whatsoever. They're all theologies.
Microbiome and all that. And what if you can get paleo advocates to say the same thing? We don't live...
How are you ever going to get all these factions in human nutrition to agree on any fucking thing, David? Because they don't. That's why... The very fact that we lack any science to answer these questions unequivocally is the very reason why these fucking factions still exist. It's the very reason why this ridiculous conversation continues, isn't it? Thank you very much for the $10, Jacob Muller. You rock. No comments, but we'll use the $10 for the knob twiddling fund, won't we, Ted? Yes! Ha 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 ha! Knob twiddling is the way to go! Ha ha ha! Yes, well, you go and twiddle the knobs. Good lad. All right, what's next?
In the Paleolithic anymore. Dorothy, we're not in the Paleolithic anymore.
Has David Katz said anything at all of any utility or value whatsoever in this little interview that he's doing with Not Just the Facts, Simon Hill? Anything at all? Can somebody... Because I've been talking a lot. That's what I thought, Dave. Thanks very much. Not a damn thing. Absolutely nothing, has he? He's no substance. Just waffle about how vibrant and healthy he is on his plant-heavy diet.
And you...
I think I just broke a rib sink. Oh, another one.
You know, you don't have enough acreage left on the planet with 8 billion hungry Homo sapiens for us to be hunter-gatherers. It's just...
Sauce? Yes, there is enough room on this planet for 8 billion hunter-gatherers. Yes, there is. Stop using so much of it for using plants. There you go.
You know, you'd need 15 times the surface area of the Earth. It's just...
No, you wouldn't. You just need to stop wasting as much of it as we do on things that don't support our survival. How's that? That's right. Nothing but nonsense is what he said. Absolutely nothing but complete fucking nonsense, David Katz. Good.
Not going to work. We need to get our protein mostly from plants now.
No, we fucking don't, David Katz. That's your ridiculous, pustulous, excremental, stupid, ignorant opinion. There is absolutely nothing you can tap that can support that claim. And good luck if you can even do it. Try it. See what happens over, a number of years of attempting that. What do we think, boys and girls? Feral Grammar gifted some memberships out. That's good. Make sure those of you that have been gifted out memberships that you're still a member next week. Because, YouTube might decide you're not, as they have done repeatedly. This is not a baseless accusation. I can introduce any one of you to a number of people who have had this experience on my channel. Yep. There it is, in a nutshell, I think, personally.
Oh, and what if you can get the Mediterranean diet proponents to agree? Well, I did exactly that.
No, you fucking didn't get anybody to agree on anything, David. No, you didn't. And even if you did, so fucking what? Consensus fallacy. The facts remain untouched by your ridiculous theologically based opinion.
I did a nonprofit many years ago called the True Health Initiative, and that is its beating heart. It's a global panel of experts from 50 countries.
Ah, experts, you say. X, of course, being something that used to be something that isn't that thing anymore, and a spurt being a drip under pressure. Good. And who's to determine who an expert is and who isn't an expert? Because you're putting yourself forward as an expert, David, aren't you? Are you one? No, son. Not even close. You're not an expert's asshole. You're just an asshole. What's next?
Countries, roughly 500 of us, diverse expertise, diverse preferences.
There you go. You've just claimed to have some expertise. As that relates to human health outcomes, as that relates to dietary pattern, David, and you fucking don't. You do not have that expertise. You never have done. You're a theologue, an imbecile, a sufferer of Dunning-Kruger, and frankly, pretty fucking offensive. Maybe he should be on the list of people that you can vote for as the most offensive disinformer, misinformer on the interwebs. We're going to react to the Eat Lancet list, or whoever the hell made that list of who the worst disinformers are. For a start, how the hell did Sean Baker get to the top of that list? Even if you don't like carnivore channels, why would Sean Baker be at the top? I'm confused. Anyway.
Diverse personal behaviors, but all coming together to say, yeah, incontrovertibly.
Ah, well, if you say incontrovertibly, well, that makes it absolutely certain that no one will argue with you, doesn't it? Incontrovertibly. No, David.
These are the fundamentals of a healthy diet.
Well, incontrovertibly, what you've just outlined is that a bunch of people got together and gave their opinions, and they may or may not have agreed with yours, David. So even if it's true, and 500 people, which is not really representative of all the actual experts in the world, is it, David? No. But even if there were 500 of them, and they all got together and they all agreed, so fucking what? How does that affect the actual facts of what the ideal diet for a human being is? I'll tell you, it doesn't. Not at all.
Lifestyle, we all agree.
Oh, well, if you all agree then, job's done. Why do you need to make this video then, if you're right? I'm confused. I wish I wasn't so easily confused. It must be that dangerous carnivore diet I'm on. Mention, yeah, also, this video is called You're Not a Lion, Stop Eating Like a Lion. Have we even mentioned lions or sharp pointy teeth? My God.
So that's what I've tried to do. But I think...
you failed, David. You failed entirely to place yourself in a position where you are giving good, robust and indicated advice to people as regards their health. At all. Singular failure. Destitute failure of the worst possible kind.
And you know this, asking the question, what do we do to overcome all the noisy nonsense? We don't know.
Well, yeah, we do. We come online, people like me, and overcome your ridiculous noisy nonsense, David Katz. That's what we do. Projection again.
Because the noisy nonsense just keeps getting louder and louder.
That's right, David. Because cunts like you won't shut the fuck up with your theologically based nonsense.
Our ability to generate signal audible above the noise and the din has been beleaguered ever more over recent years. My hope, I've done one thing to try and overcome it, but I think for the most part we're losing the war. And by the way, we're losing the war with regard to nutrition and health, but we're also losing the war with regard to politics and democracy. And
yes, because the hard right, whatever the hell that is winning, apparently. So, number one, can we define hard right? What in the purple fuck is hard right? And secondly, is it a hard right party that's currently trying to Orwellize the UK with the thought police and the control over every aspect of your life and stop, you have your papers, yes? Is that a hard right party that's doing that? Is it hard right that's trying to control what we say online and to promote laws around censorship? Is it the hard right that's trying to mandate medical interventions on us, be those indicated or otherwise, without our informed consent? Is that hard right? Is it the hard right that's confusing us as to how many genders there are? Or trying to? Is that the hard right? Anyway, you weren't here for politics. We're here for facts about science.
Misinformation prevails everywhere to our detriment. So, these are very perilous times. The one hope I have...
Ah, yes, hard right lions. I'm confused too, Snacksy man. It's because I'm so stupid and so easily confused, you see. I've been taken in by this ridiculous idea that I'm a lion with sharp pointy teeth. God, I should just look in a mirror and see that I'm not and understand that everything I've said is nonsense for the last 7 years online. Yeah. I don't think lions should be allowed to have politics, frankly. Yeah. You will die without carbs, laughy face, laughy face. Ha 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 ha. Yes, you will die without carbs, but that doesn't mean you have to eat any. Yes. Yes. Lizard people. Who's the lizard people? I'm not a lizard people. Usually it does, Alex, yes. Yes. In most cases. Not always, but in most cases. No, neither have I. Anyway, what's next?
Simon, is that when you think about individual humans...
In Albion, no matter where you go or what you do, your mouth will accompany you on your journey. Perhaps you'll pick the ox.
The ox, yes.
No matter how brilliant someone is destined to become, they pass through stages of psychological development. All children are gullible and impressionable. It's actually adaptive.
Ah, yes. True. So it seems many adults who never got beyond that phase of being gullible.
We're social animals. One of the best ways to do well in a tribe is to fit in with the tribe. So whatever way people tell you you ought to behave, you believe it, you behave that way.
There you go, sheeple. That's what you do. Comply. Don't stand out from the crowd. Follow the sheeple.
It's one of the reasons why religion's so popular. You're raised in a religion, you're told these things are true.
Have you got one of those, David? A religion? I believe you do. I'm not sure about that, but I believe you do.
Don't really challenge it. But as we grow and mature, we become more prone to question things, and ultimately we...
So how did you end up with such a packet of ridiculous, nonsensical, irrational, frankly ludicrous ideas about human nutrition, David Katz, without reference to any science whatsoever? How did that happen? Yeah. I see what you did there, Dave. Love it. Where is it? It's a good point. Where is this going? This is going fucking nowhere, as is veganism. Nowhere. It's got nowhere to go. There is no place for veganism on this planet. Because it's just wrong in every regard. It's not indicated for health. It's not indicated for ethical reasons. It's not indicated for environmental reasons. There are no indications for a vegan diet in human beings. Not one anywhere. Sorry about that. Yes. You're in animals. Yes. Good. Yes, vegan word salad. Good. And no substance. Absolutely no substance of any kind from David Katz from start to finish.
Become pretty skeptical as adolescents first, and then as adults, we have more mature filters to help us differentiate.
Well, some of us do, David.
Sense from nonsense.
Others
end up like you, son, saying ridiculous, nonsensical, pustulous excrement online and expecting to be taken seriously by anyone with an IQ higher than, Mike Imbecile, about 30, that is. Anyone with more than 3 working brain cells will not suck this lollipop, David.
Sorry about that.
Information from misinformation.
When it comes to gut health, I couldn't find a supplement that did it all. So
That's right, because we don't know anything about gut health to speak of at all. In fact, Simon, it's all speculative. It's all mechanistic speculation. There is no actual science in the field that exists. So of course you're not going to find anything that's going to do it all. Okay?
formulated one with gastroenterologist Dr. Will Bolsowitz. It's called...
Well, he looks really, really healthy, doesn't he?
Daily Microbiome Nutrition, or DMN.
Is he a card-carrying member of the Church of Anorexia Vegana, Simon? Don't know. You tell me.
By 38 Terra. And to our knowledge, it is the most...
To your knowledge, Simon, so your knowledge is fuck all. Absolutely fuck all about human health, human nutrition. You don't know dick about fuck regarding this topic. And as such, you shouldn't be commenting upon it.
Complete prebiotic formula on the market today. We built DMN to support a healthy, diverse microbiome.
Well, that's sad because we don't know what that fucking is, Simon Hill. Okay?
Which we now know plays a critical role in everything from digestion to immunity, metabolism, and even brain health. What sets DMN apart is that it contains clinically proven doses of ingredients like actazine.
Clinically proven to do what, Simon?
And solnol, and it's a very concentrated source of polyphenols.
Well, polyphenols, though. What's the exact dietary requirement for polyphenols, Simon? None at all. What's next?
All conveniently combined.
Conveniently. Well, that's good. I'm glad it's convenient.
To nourish your gut bacteria.
Which we don't know anything much about to speak of, yeah.
Promote true microbial diversity.
Diversity. So we're going to assume diversity is good, are we? On the basis of absolutely no evidence that that is so. Okay, good.
No artificial sweeteners, no gums or fillers, just science-backed.
No, Simon, no, not at all. You don't know what science is. You wouldn't know what science was if it rogered you roughly from the rear. You've got no exposure to science at all. Only theology. You're a trained monkey grinder. And you're an imbecile. And you're a coward, because you still haven't responded to my repeated public invitations and exhortations to come and have a debate with me, sunshine. I wonder why that is.
Plant-based ingredients in a once-a-day, incredibly delicious...
Again, no, I don't think so.
So if you're looking to fuel your microbes and enjoy all the benefits that come with that...
Well, we don't know what those are, Simon, still.
...to 38terra.com and use the code SIMON for 10% off. That's 38 TERA.
Yeah, we can fucking read, Simon.
.com and use the code SIMON to feed those gut bugs.
Right, so that was a film entitled Stop Eating Like a Lion, The Dangerous Myth Behind Keto and Carnivore Diets, featuring David Katz. What did he give us? What did he give us to make any of us believe for a second that either keto or carnivore diets are based on any form of dangerous myth, or that there's any danger to eating a species-appropriate, species-specific diet, i.e. hypercarnivore? Anything? At all? The proof with Simon Hill. Oh, yeah? Okay. You mean the theology? You mean the ridiculous noise, the waffle and obfuscation channel? You mean the inviting people with absolutely no credibility in human nutrition science, like David Katz, to come and give his ridiculous theologically based opinions? Don't know. I missed the first 30 minutes, says Snacksy Man, in which case you need to report to Ted after class for a bit of administrative correction for being late. Well, just twiddle the knobs for God's sake, Ted. You're not helping. You can't get the help, you know. If you do want to help around Pimbatia, you absolutely can. All you need to do is send us an email. We'll have a Zoom discussion to make sure you haven't got two heads, or if you do, that they're agreeable. And we'll invite you to come and stay with us on the farm here in the independent sovereign nation of Pimbatia, which is surrounded by the communist state of New Zealand. We'll get you in here. You'll get a Pimbatian passport. Of course, you'll have to take the risk that Ted will come and visit you late during the night. we all have that risk here. That's how it goes. Fuck me, Harry Louse, you're as late as it's possible to be. We're just about finished. I'm just about to sing the song, son. I think you better report to Ted also. Harry Louse, report to me for a bit of spanking after class. There you go, you've been told. Good to see you though, Harry. Yeah, we've just been dealing with Simon Hill and David Katz, who, well, didn't say anything, either one of them. Not a damn fucking thing in a 15-minute video. Absolutely nada, zero. There's nothing for me to even argue with. It was just nonsense, all of it. All right, there it is. So, and that being the case, we can finish for the day. We'll sing the song. You know how the song goes, and then we'll be done. Won't that be good? The song goes a bit something like this, doesn't it? Steak and eggs and steak. That's what you should have for your breakfast. Delicious. Eggs and steak and eggs. Just making sure you heard. I think they got it, Ted. Don't you? Yes. Ah, very good, very good. Right, off you all, fat then. Oh, well, okay, you hit the button then, Ted, would you? Good lad.